Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that. Slight technical difficulties. I had to go to the kitchen to make a cup of coffee and came back and it was all chaos. The stream cut off while I was out of the room. So we're just getting it back. Lynn, I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you found us. Hopefully everybody else will come back. Um, Yeah. Desert, I'm just looking for your microphone. Okay, welcome back, Desert. Welcome back, everyone, to the Forbidden History Chronicles. You're here with NinjaCat 111 and Desert-Owl from the Forbidden History series YouTube channel, and currently broadcasting from Forbidden History Live. G'day, Shelley. I'm glad you're back. Thank you. Um, I'm just looking for the graphics. We'll just do some promoting Desert.
All right.
Okay, and new channels. We're just starting to upload on these new channels. Please subscribe. All links are in the description. Desert reads in original thought, transliterates as he reads. Farrar Fenton Bible is an amazing book as well, and it's very big. I've got it sitting, got it sitting right in front of me. It's huge. Yeah, it's a very thick book. It's amazing. And also my other channel, the Cosmic Essence, um, is we're building that up as well. It's going to be an easy reference channel because there's so much information and it can be really hard and really time consuming if you're looking for something in particular to go back through all the live streams, because we now have three channels with live streams, a history of live streams. So it's a lot to look through. So we're clipping live streams, and we're going to have it all organized on the Cosmic Essence, so you can look for anything you like. It'll be like
Topically.
topically,
Topically.
that's the word I'm looking for. There'll be alphabet, there'll be symbols, words, um, readings.
Individuals.
Yeah,
Individuals.
I've just put up part one and two of the excuse me, the true nature of Adam, and working on part three. So that should be up either after the stream tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, so it'll be good. And also, sorry, I'm looking for more graphics here. Desert, if you'd like to chime in while I'm scrolling up the list.
What are you
um,
looking for?
I'm just looking for more. PDFs, the PDF graphics.
Hmm.
Yeah, while we're here promoting, if you'd like to see and read it for yourself, PDFs are very, very handy. And we also uh, do this with no funding. Yeah, so I'm trying to. I was going to quote you, Desert, but
Hmm.
yeah, my brain's a little bit at the moment. Yeah, so any size donation is very much appreciated. It all goes towards this project, and that will get you um, some PDFs. We have the Real Da Vinci Code, Etymological Dictionary, written by Dezert-Owl. That's a beautiful PDF. It's beautifully done. Yeah, that would look amazing in a hardcover. Desert. Just yeah, I'm
Hmm.
just
Well,
picturing.
I did
Yeah,
a sample of the book, 300 pages, 8.5 by 11,
really.
and 300. Yeah. Well, it's just to do 10 copies. It's at that point, at that little amount for a prototype was
Yeah.
400 bucks.
Wow.
Yeah, 400 bucks or $40 a copy. So you got to do large scale printing.
Yeah.
But the Book of Wisdom, yeah. So we give
Yeah.
it in PDF. We make it available. So
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
only way we could
I'll
do
go
it.
back to
Hmm.
the Book of Wisdom. Sorry, I'm chopping and changing. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Book of Wisdom, um, written by Joseph of Arimathea. Did I say that right, Desert?
Yeah, and the original thought would be the Voleshafe of Ramtha.
Wow.
Ramtha. Ramtha.
Wow. Yeah. Beautiful book. Yeah. It's my go-to. Because I'm on the other side of the world. There's times where I'm struggling and there's nobody available to call and talk to.
Yeah. You mean when your world is upside down?
When my world is upside down. So yeah, quite often I've gone to the Book of Wisdom and just opened it
Uh-huh.
randomly, and uh,
Uh-huh.
the perfect Aishavors are always there. Um, yeah, and also
Mm.
a sample of the original Gospel. With a more up-to-date version of Desert's Dictionary at the back of it. So yeah, any size donation. If you can't afford to donate because of this world that we are in. um, yeah, it's a struggle. We will get them to you anyway. All contact details are in the descriptions on all the live streams. You can just my email and Yojani. Um, our contact details are in the description, so you can contact either one of us to get the PDFs. Um, okay, back to you, Desert. Welcome back. I'm glad we're back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you were going to share some of Jasher that was of interest to you, and then um, you wanted me to do comparative reading and original thought. Was that it?
Yeah, I want to be able to read, like transliterate as I go, like you do. I do with some words, but yeah, no, nothing like you do. Um, but I've got a lot of little post-it notes here with I have questions. Um,
Hmm.
so do you want to do a few questions first and then
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
read a little bit?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking. Sorry. This is bad for radio. I
Sorry.
know.
We're the real public radio. That's okay. They got
um,
all the money. We don't have any money, but we do get it done on a song, a wing, and a prayer. Hmm.
yes, yes, we do. I'm trying to find one particular thing. Okay. Here's a quick one. Um, in I'm in chapter 3. Um, talking about uh, Enoch. Enoch. Am I saying that right?
Well, that's the corrupt version.
Yeah.
It's Kenok, perhaps, and I've got that on cards as well. So I'd have to pull them out to show the variables. But again, when they've robbed us of our original words, um, um, it's
Yeah.
speculative deduction and on bringing it back to an original. But there could be a suffix, another suffix, or a prefix that is still removed. So we'll never know. But Kenok, can there's knock for knowledge, K Kane
Desert.
for fire.
I just
What?
saw something.
What?
Uh, you know how the show Stargate SG-1 was and is it like with all media is telling us everything.
Uh-huh.
Um, there was a there was a little they went to a planet um, and there was a group of people called the Nox. They were called the Nox Desert,
Oh, I
and
missed that
they
one.
they
Mhm.
lived. Um, there was a small group of them. Just trying to remember, it was so long ago. There was a small group of them, and they lived in a forest, and they were like hippies. Um,
Mhm.
and they were all calm and peaceful, and they were very knowledgeable. And near the end, I think it was two-part episode, but anyway, near the end, um, they revealed where they really lived. Like, this was just one small group of them down in the forest. They revealed where they really lived,
Hmm?
and it was a city, a cloaked city up in the sky. Yeah. Um, I think it's. I think they were hiding. It was to keep them safe. They were hiding. That was their real home. But yeah, it just reminded me of that. Like Enoch, the Knox.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, and then backwards it spells something as well. Hey Jet, good to have you. Uh,
g'day, Jet.
yeah, I'd have to get my cards. That's a
Yeah.
deep word, but notice that there's a duality because Cain, who is correctly Gain, had a son called Canok,
Yeah.
and he built a city for him, and that's
Yeah.
probably what we call Egypt today, which was Meitzar.
Okay.
And then we have the seventh or the eighth from Adam, depending upon whether you include Abel or not. You have Enoch again in the pure line. So you have one out in the false line of the Canaanites, and you have one in the true line of the Zavrams line. You see, so there's two
Okay.
Enochs,
Yeah.
meaning there's two veins for knowledge. One
Yeah.
is the false, one is the true, the
Wow.
duality, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Um, and my question um, was just a word that yeah. Uh, when they buried Adam, they buried him with great pomp. What is pomp? With great pomp, as at the burial of
Uh,
kings.
well, in other words, a pomp is like, as the way we see it in a word like pompous, somebody who, in other words, they're lifting up. They're lifting up into a great parade. In other words,
Okay,
a
okay, yeah,
spectacular display.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I see it in context now. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
pretext,
Th-
pretext.
oh, okay, thank you. Um,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Lynn got it too. Ceremony. That's another way to say it, right?
Thank you, Lynn.
Hmm.
Okay, what else have I got here?
Yeah, that's the burning of money, by the way. The ceremony is when you're burning the sear of money,
See
sear
money.
money,
Oh,
sear the money.
wow.
You're burning the money, right? Because they're having a great time. They're having
Okay, do you want to
a
read?
merry time. They're having a merry time. That's on maritime, right? On the waters, merry time, burning the money. Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Do you
Hmm?
want to just transliterate this part? Um,
Where are we?
okay, I'm in chapter 3, verse 20. I was going to ask about it, but I thought maybe if I just read it and then you transliterated would be nicer.
Okay, verse 20.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to read it. Read it the regular way.
Yeah, and then you transliterate. And eventually, I'm hoping to be able to read a verse while transliterating on the program, and then you can go through it again and correct me.
Okay,
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you there? Verse 20.
I'm here. I'm sitting here with bated breath.
Oh, I'm not going to try and transliterate this one in all in due time.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right. Later. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Not right now.
All right.
Um. Okay. So I'll just read verse 20, just that one, and then you can
Okay.
transliterate. Um. Okay. And he did in this manner for many years, and he afterward concealed himself for 6 days. And I should have read the verse before that. Anyway, um,
We'll start up. Start 19 then.
okay. I'm just moving my post-it note. Hang on.
Mm.
All right. And during the 3 days that he was in his chamber, he prayed to and praised the Lord his God, and the day on which he went and appeared to his subjects, He taught them the ways of the Lord, and all they asked him about hang on, and all they asked him about the Lord he told them. And he did in this manner for many years, and afterward concealed himself for 6 days, and appeared to his people one day in 7, and after that once in a month, and then once in a year, until all the kings, princes, and sons of men sought for him, and desired again to see the face of Enoch, and to hear his word, but they could not, as all the sons of men were greatly afraid of Enoch, and they feared to approach him on account of the godlike awe that was seated upon his countenance. Therefore no man could look at him, fearing he might be punished and die. Your turn, Desert. You
All
want
right. Well, there's not many words, uh, but well, anyway, here it goes. And during 3 days, Diel is day, Diel, 3 Diels. The word three is tray. During the trade Diels, that he is the eye, was in his chamber. The eye created light before and rose up in the creation of the Avalhe, who is his great Olafhain, and the Diel on which the eye went and appeared to his students. The eye plowed and planted seed within them on the vase of the Yavalhe, and all they asked him, the one of the many, about the Yavalhe, the eye told them. And the eye did in this manner for many years, and afterward concealed himself for 6 Diels, and appeared to his people 1 Diel and 7, and after that once in a month, and then once in a year, and after until all the Malachim, the princes, and the Zans of the seed of the sun sought for him, and he desired again to see the face of Kenog, and to give ear to his Eshavor, but they could not, as all the Zans, the seed of the sun, were greatly afraid of Kenog, and they feared to approach him on account of the Elohimic like awe that was seated upon his countenance. Therefore no Eshan could look at the one of the many, fearing that the eye might be punished and die. Okay.
Thank you. That's so much more
Right.
beautiful and original thought. And now, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Um, so, is that um, speaking, describing Enoch as having victory of light because of his devotion? Like, I can't think of the right word for it. You know how you say it's a work, and we need to um, get into a routine, and I don't want to say commit. There's a better word for that. But yeah, like, is that describing victory of light? And what all I want, um, all I want for myself, and I'm sure others can relate to this, is victory of light in these times. And
Hmm.
when that happens, uh, will people be seen with light? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, will there be actual visual light coming from people when they have victory of light? Because it's
No.
saying here that you can't look at the face of Enoch.
Well, they couldn't. They were afraid to look at him because of his quality. It wasn't that he was literally, beaming light from him, but that it was just that they had so much respect for him, a reverence.
Yeah.
You know how in ancient time, like they weren't allowed to look at the king, right? If you looked at the king, you
Okay.
die,
No eye
right?
contact kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah. So it was more of a matter of reverence. They saw their own inferiority,
Yeah.
and therefore regarded somebody so great. And as we see in Eastern cultures, like they bow to each other, they put their hands together,
Yeah.
right? A reverence that was deep, and that's carried on today in Oriental cultures, right?
Yeah. Wow, thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
This is amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
seeing and reading it for myself.
Yeah. So just keep it up, and you'll get proficient at it. It's a long
Yeah,
time, but
like,
the good
yeah.
news is that we have the pieces of the puzzle now. We don't have to. You don't have. There's nothing to figure out.
Yeah.
It's just applying it.
Yeah, like I know the Aishavors. Like I, I, I can transliterate a lot better sitting here reading. I can do it in my head, but reading it out loud the way you do on a live stream,
Hmm.
not ready for that yet, does it? But
Of course. Well,
yeah.
of course. It's a lot of work
Yeah.
involved with memorizing. That's the
Yeah.
key. So practice on your own, and you'll get better as you go.
Yeah.
So we're in the dictionary of all scriptures and myths, and we did part one on, remember, heaven. We were doing the definitions of heaven and earth and all
Yep.
that.
Yep. Just
Okay,
let
so
me
I
get.
have.
I just want to get. Sorry, I've got my diction. Oh no, hang on. Oh no, don't worry. I didn't. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
I have it on the computer, but it would take too long because it's huge.
Right.
It would
Okay.
take a lot of scrolling to get. Anyway, please continue.
Alrighty. So heavenly. This is heavenly nymphs, sirens, Gandharvas, and Colchians. And this is a short definition. I go through each one because it's all relative to the word heavenly, and we're just seeing where they go. These are the symbols of Buddhic faculties on the higher subplanes of the Buddhic plane in the soul. Okay, so that's just a short version. Now, heavenly regions, a symbol of the higher mental or Buddhic states of rest and enlightenment. Okay, that's the Buddhic. It means the flower that opens. That's a nice picture. Um,
Thank you.
every evening, Oro, which means the true voice, Oro, descended on the, we can see Zorro in there as well, the power of the true voice, descending on the rainbow of the valley and returned by the same pathway on the following Morgan to the cosmic regions, and that's from the Polynesian cultures, and at recurring intervals, descents, evening, night, Morgan, marking periods of embodiment on the lower planes, would be made by the self or ego, after which the self would again quit the temporary abode of its incarnation and return through the higher mind, Rainbow Bridge, to the devacanic state. Okay, and then we got two more here. So heavenly springtime, that a symbol signifying the individuality rising joyously from the casual body to progress on the celestial journey to heights of illumination inconceivable. The ego has this, it has in his, the ego has in this case passed through the present cycle and attained liberation and union on the higher mental plane. For from that point is the true beginning of the real life, in all capital letters. True, perfect, and complete cosmic springtime. I have come to you. I have eaten my sacramental cakes. I have power over the sacrificial portions of my beasts and birds. The feathered fowl of the light are given unto me, for I have followed the Elohim when the Travain forms come. That's from the Book of the Dead. That's in Meitzar. And the divine life is entered into, and the growth of the true self is now apprehended and perceived to be the supreme fact of universal life. The food of the Elohim, the Ulafim, has been eaten, and in the attainment of the ideals in wisdom and love, and so spiritual power is acquired, which renders sacrifice, asceticism, self-denial, or any form of self abnegation or irksomeness, not only unnecessary but impossible. The aspirations which formerly led to these necessary but contractive limitations now yield their fruit, for the rising self within has fulfilled his ideal and been true to them. It seems to me that the very essence of the life eternal consists in the fact that it involves perfect self-expression without the sense of lack, hindrance, or defeat. The life eternal, the life that Ulfheim lives and is the life in which fullness of power, fullness of enlightenment, and possibility of subjection to the limitations which in this world are the cause of our trouble and compel us to choose between one form of gratification and another. We want not to have to think about giving up this and resisting that. We want to be able to live as the trees and birds live, fulfilling our appointed tasks and with perfect ease and harmony, and without the danger of going wrong anywhere. Now that I say is the life eternal, the goal of all our strivings, the life that in the Mo'eshayak, aka Christ, we shall come to share with Uluvheim. And you can see for yourselves at once that it must be a life in which considerations of right and wrong no longer hold good. They are gone, transcended, swallowed up in the joy of being, or swallowed up in the enlightenment of being. Joy is another code word for enlightenment, of being and doing exactly what we want and Ulufheim wants without the intrusion of any discordant factor. R.J. Campbell, sermon, the non-moral, the non-ethical aspects of religion. One more, a heavenly voice in the path, a symbol of aspiration, which is the expression of the Travain life within the soul. But here now, the motive for my coming and rejoice thereat, a cosmic voice that has been heard by me, Asita, Esheta, in the cosmic path, that your son, Buddha, has been born for the sake of supreme knowledge. The lower self, Buddhic manas, the food of the flower, is what that means. In involution, now realizes the nature of the higher law, whereby its development is to be quickened, and within the enlightenment is aroused. Within it, enlightenment is aroused. The divine nature aspiration has awakened within it. And now it recognizes that the Son of Righteousness, the seed of the perfect flowing light, the light of perfection, the flowing light, the seed of the flowing light of perfection, that's Son of Righteousness. Ethical law and conscience also has been born upon the higher planes. Okay, and so that's where that ends right there. And there's interesting. Let me just go a little further because I see how the code here is. Okay, so Havdomad, which proceeds from the Ogdode. Here's definite code words. A symbol of the highest being, which emanates from the absolute, the manifest self from unmanifest. So I'm looking at my notes here, and so apparently Hebdomad is matter, represents matter, and then
Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense. You can hear it,
okay,
yeah,
Hebdomad. Well, okay.
kind of.
The word Adam is in there
Yeah,
actually, and he stands for, he symbolized creation.
yeah.
So literally, it has the elements in there of the atom, which proceeds from the Ogdode. So the Ogdode then would represent the sun. I think the word Ogdode we'll find also as a code in the Nag Hammadi, and this is what confuses people when they read some of these lost writings, because
Yeah.
when they read our Christian lost writings, they use these terms and they're, instead of giving it proper transliteration, and so that's where people get turned off sometimes to the lost writings, which is natural to comprehend. So the Hebdomad the son of the hebdomad, a symbol of the seed of the sun, or Ulufheim, manifest on the higher planes. The light therefore, which came down from the Ogdod above the son of the hebdomad, descended from the hebdomad upon Yeshua, upon Jesus, and the Zan of Miriam, and he had radiance imparted to him by being illuminated with the light that shone upon him. This, he says, is that which has been declared, the Holy Spirit, or the only true pure light of the Asia fire will come upon you, meaning that which proceeded from the sonship through the conterminous spirit upon the Ogdod and the Hebdomad, as far as Miriam. That comes from the system of Balasades and Hippolytus refutation. So the highest, the divine ray, which had already been latent within the supreme, the Ogdod, went and see the Og in the first two words. We see the O and the G, which are prime symbols of the light of the sun in perfection, but the dode at the latter part with the D's are definitely corruption. So that's how we have to look at these words and realize the problems that we're dealing with within transliteration. So we can ultimately back engineer them using correct form, not the D but the T, and things like that. And that went forth unto him, who was the only begotten, the only engendered of the highest, and descended through the upper planes to illumine the personal aspect of the self, the Moeshiach soul, or the Christ soul, from born in of the purified portion of the lower nature. That's virgin, symbolized by Virgin Mary, Miriam, and the purified nature was made radiant with love and truth through the Trevane, the divine light, which was caught by him, to whom the purified nature had given birth. Okay, and so just plowing the field through, some of these harder meanings, and yeah, you're gonna have to get a hard copy, I guess, also of this dictionary, huh, Ninja?
Yeah, it would be handy, but it's huge. Like I have access to it on the computer. I think it's an online PDF.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. Like it would have taken longer to find my place than it took for you to read that just then.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I hear you.
like with the PDF version. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
guess if I had a book, yeah, that would be a lot easier. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I,
Okay. Well, okay. I want to go into a little symbolism here,
yeah,
and I have on these three 3x5 cards here, and what I'm trying to think of what my connections were here, because a couple days ticked by and all of a sudden I'm lost. So
yeah,
trees. Okay, the two trees in the garden are, when we're dealing with symbolism, everything is speaking,
yeah,
and we can read something behind the story. There's a story behind the story on the cosmic level, and so and with trees, where it said these two trees in the garden, well, it's clearly there's two trees. Well, who are the two trees, right? Who are the two prime characters in the story, right? It's Adam and Eve, right?
yeah,
Using the corrupt terminology, and so they are the two trees. One represents life, and one represents darkness, but they actually both represent each of those, right? Because the woman had to gain knowledge, but also she had the ability to create life, and the man is the tree of knowledge, but also he has the ability to participate in creating life. He's got the seed. If he's not going to give the seed, then there won't be any life. So there's a duality. There's the duality right there. We have both aspects hiding within us, and so it's the tree of knowledge that leads us to the tree of life, and also the aspect of having children, to use the corrupt terminology, but. So it talked about how that the mother of how did that I wanted to paraphrase a scripture, the children of the widow are few. I can't begin to paraphrase what I wanted to say, but basically there's seed being born in on earth, and there are many, but of the pure woman, of the virgin, there are few, is what I was attempting to say. And so this is the irony behind the spiritual realm, because there are many in the lower world, but there are few that are going into the
Yeah.
higher realm. And many say they're going. They all, talk to your typical Christian. Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
already saved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but
They
they don't
think
have
they
to do
don't have
nothing.
to. Yeah. Don't have to do
They're not
anything
plowing the
else.
field.
Yeah.
And so our plowing the field is creating potential for having children. And see, so it's another type of a child, and it's the child of enlightenment. and um
Wow.
and so yeah, and so that's what Yeshua expects us to do,
And
is to
that's what
become
we're doing. Yeah.
seed planters, right? To plant seeds,
Wow.
because then we can bring forth a harvest
Yeah.
for the great Father of Light. That's what he wants. And so that's what again, the aspect of being second born, right? We're
Yeah.
second born, but into what? Into a spiritual realm that can also have children, but the children are of light, the seed of light, and not seed of darkness, which is of the earth, of the lower realm, the lower garden.
Okay, I have
And
a question.
okay,
Does it?
okay.
Um, it'd just be interesting to find out, but that I don't know how that would be possible. But you just made me think. Uh, in this physical reality, I am the firstborn, but I want to become the secondborn. And yeah, I just found that interesting. Like, um, would that be would that be common? Like, or is it just doesn't matter? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just yeah. I'm the firstborn out of two. Me and my
Yeah, well,
sister.
that doesn't. It's merely a sequence of nature, but
Yeah, I was just
it's
thinking
only.
duality and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because we're referring to these elements on a higher
yeah.
level. So you want, no matter what, everyone is the firstborn in the fact that they were born into the
Okay,
lower world.
into this
And
world.
so,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah,
And so what Lamsa was saying, also, to continue on the two trees,
yeah.
and what he was saying was they were different than all other trees, and that's showing he got it. He got the message. And so, in other words, so trees are symbols of the races of man, different races of man, different tree of what do you call family tree, right? So there's the
Yeah.
Aryan, there's the African, there's the Paracus, there's the Dravidian, all these different trees. So this is where everyone is reading the story literally, and they missed it entirely. They missed it totally.
Yeah.
So Yeshua's 40 days in the wilderness was symbolic. It was symbolic of the 40 years in the wilderness, and it's symbolic of the fact that we will have to go through on a journey. Um, Probably for most, there are exceptions to all rules, but for most, then we're going on a journey. Not that we have to go literally for 40 years, but it is a process of absorbing and then coming to terms with what we are now seeing, and then ultimately conquering the self, or the ego, or the serpent, right? All these things that we have to be confronted with. And because it's being born, as we see with babies, that everybody's kind of crying. The woman's in pain, and
Yeah.
the baby's crying, right? But then the mother is happy because the baby, is finally delivered, and it's a beautiful experience. But um, yeah, so we're this whole aspect of transition. I think it was Nasir Haramim who coined the terminology. He was the first one I ever heard mention it. Crossing the event horizon. And we already went on a fantastic journey when we came in as the serpent, right? Because the
Yep.
serpent is the microscopic a sporum that went up the birthing canal of the woman, and all those enzymes are coming at it, trying to burn it alive. And it's the only one that made it all the way. The other ones died along the way. And so we already went on a great cosmic journey. We're already one in a million, one in a billion. That the fact that we made it here, right? Think of how many had to die so that you could be here, right? That many died along the way. And so that's the law of nature. That's the law of this cosmic journey. That there are many, just like the tree, how many, the acorn trees, they drop oak trees, they drop the acorns every year, right? Millions of them. And then finally, after 20 years, 25 years, one of them gets it, sprouts because the deer stepped on it, pushed it in the ground. Then the rain came down and fertilized it just at the right time. So it's all about nature coming together and working in tandem to produce, and so it's a miracle. And so one more here, the Ark of the Covenant, the Kavanun, the Covenant, and I think I've mentioned this one on another program, and to point out that that was a symbol, and that we are the Ark of the Covenant. We are what the Ark of the Covenant represented. It's us. The law
Thank
is
you.
already
Yeah.
written in our hearts. You see.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
that's it, Ninja. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
maybe we can wrap it for today because I had a couple of priorities I had to get done, and I see we as when the program broke, we lost some of our friends on the
Yeah,
broadcast and they
yeah.
didn't
We
come back.
managed.
So
Yeah, we managed to get the number. We managed to get up to seven. I saw seven at one stage, but
yeah, all right.
yeah,
And
we've
so
been
I
going for
sure
a couple
appreciate
of
everybody
hours.
being
So
here.
yeah,
Yeah, appreciate everybody, and do tell your friends, about the broadcast. Everyone, we're here trying to share what's been hidden from us, and we have to hear things over and over sometimes to really have it sink in. But there's a lot. I didn't get into my New Testament light today, or Old Testament light, or my book of symbols, and also the hidden history of America. So I've got things that we're trying to bring out, and we'll shoot for next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we also will be back on Forbidden History Live tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern time, right? And Ninja, anything else on your end?
no.
Okay.
Don't-
Well, then
I'm just sorry.
I'll
I'm a
telling
bit
you
tired.
that if you
Yeah,
if you want to know the future, then you just need to look for the Forbidden History because I'm all right here. It's all right here, coming your way 7 days a week, either on NinjaCat 111 on Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then look for us during the week. We're on different times, and so just go check out the description, and it will be there. Right, Ninja?
yes, does it?
All
Um,
right. So
and you won't
I'll
hear
let
this
you
anywhere else.
I'll
What they
let you
didn't want.
go,
Yeah,
and
does it?
and thank you so much for producing. Okay,
Thank you.
couldn't do it without you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you later. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Peace and light. Okay. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there. Um, really appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. It's been good. Um, and remember, Desert, I wanted to get you to finish this. What they didn't want you to know, that we tell right here. So this is NinjaCat 111. Of the Forbidden History Chronicles. And yes, I'm stopping mid sentence because I'm a bit tired. I apologise. Love you guys and thank you. Peace and light to you guys always. And I'll see you later.